And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
In many of my reviews, I talk about how strong theme is for me, how I want the game to have a theme that immerses me, something that really draws me to it. But at the same time, I do not want people to think that I'm against abstract games. There are quite a few abstract games that I do enjoy. So I'm going to be talking about those every once in a while, and today I wanted to mention one of them, which is Batik. Now, Batik is such a simple, such a basic game that, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be able to explain it in maybe 30 seconds. But I guess the best way to explain it, as usual, is by showing it. In Batik, each player has the same number of polygons here. You can see the different ones that they have. One person plays the light colored pieces, the other person plays the dark colored pieces. And you're using this clear board here in which you will slide these pieces on. One person goes first, and they simply take a piece, and they can drop it in the top any way they want. It doesn't matter. And the next person drops a piece in anywhere they want, and this will continue back and forth as players drop in piece after piece. Of course, it helps if you actually drop it into the puzzle there. Oh, that's not good. Because see, here, if you look very closely, as you look at the top there, you'll see that the tan piece is hanging out over the top, which means the tan player automatically loses. That is it. That is the game. And it's more difficult than it seems, and you think it's obvious that you would drop the biggest pieces in first, and yes, that's probably a pretty good strategy, but how you drop them in matters, and sometimes the rate you drop them in because it moves other pieces. It's a very simple game, and yet we played it dozens, if not maybe 100 times, because there's just something about it, trying to fit all the pieces in, trying to be the other person, to force the last person to put a piece in a way that makes it stick out over the edge. Now, sometimes we've had to zoom all the way up to see, is it over the edge or is it not over the edge? And, you know, there could be some arguments over that. Some people also think going first is an advantage. Other people think going first is a disadvantage. I'm pretty much in the middle there. But this is a great game because you can play it 20 times in 20 minutes or faster. It's a very quick game, and yet offers some good depth perception, spatial placement skills, a lot of the good things. So I recommend it if you can pick it up. A lot of math supply stores carry it. A lot of different places you can grab this game that I haven't seen. You know, I haven't seen it in regular toy stores, but I've seen it at different school supply shops. That's maybe a good place to pick it up. So this is an abstract game, no theme at all, but lots of shapes and polygons, something as a math teacher I like quite a bit. I use this in many of my math classes, and I recommend it. Batik.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.